Hey guys, name's Fen, playing some Thief. I figured maybe some people might want to see Thief. So maybe I should play something. Went through my list and came up with this. Somebody suggested this, and I was kind of down near the wrong section in my list for some reason, and I decided to play it all the same. Well, I'm going to pick this one anyway, because who doesn't? Okay, difficulty, same. It looks like another boring day in this town. Your father probably has some more running around for you, so it's time for you to wake up. I guess it's going to be pretty cool. Wow. Oh, hey. Good old cam faders that almost don't quite work. Must be the new system. This is 2006, so yeah.
Talum, where ocean meets sky. My parents brought me here when I was still very little, so I'm afraid I really don't remember much before this town. They never really told me why they left the city. I assume it has something to do with the peace and quiet in this town. I guess you could call this the poor section of town. Unfortunately for me and my family, this is home. My father worked for First Talum Bank Savings and Loan. Unfortunately, the job didn't really pay much, so my father was forced to take on odd jobs from his boss, Arthur D. Welch. Judging by the late hours of these jobs, I always assumed they were of the illegal variety. I never really asked questions. The jobs seemed to pay quite well. We never really had any trouble paying the rent on time. My life was fairly routine then. It wasn't until that fateful summer day when everything changed. This is my room. It's not much, but it's all my parents could afford at the time.
Okay. I guess I can go ahead and delete that reading I did of the intro text, as it's essentially the same meaning as that one he just did. Cool with me! Cinder. Cinder. What the heck is Cinder? I don't know. Monday. I saw Brother Delmar at the temple today. He seemed pretty excited about something. I asked him what was going on through the gate, but he ignored me. I'm not sure if he meant to or not. Oh well. Tuesday. Dad came home late from work again. I don't understand why he won't tell me what he's up to during late shifts. I'm pretty sure the bank is closed that time of day. I thought you said you assumed it was illegal. Wednesday. I thought it was going to rain today. I was walking over by Rigby and Sons power station when I felt a drop of water. Strangely, that was it. No rain. I did hear lots of laughter above me afterwards, though. This town is so odd. What, somebody spit upon you? I would kill to have somebody spit upon me, or... Thursday. I'm so bored. I've walked around the block 5 times already, and it's not even noon. There's nothing to do. I heard a cargo ship is scheduled to arrive in Talum any day now. I can't wait. I wonder if they brought any rare treasures from overseas. Friday. Is this it? Is this my life? I'm almost an adult. I still live with my parents, and I have no job. Is this what it's going to be like the rest of my life? Am I going to be fetching fish for my father for years to come? Something needs to change around here, and it needs to change now. I thought you said your childhood was tainted, man. You say you're almost an adult now and nothing's happened still? Also, lots of adults live with their parents because apparently the economy's bad. I don't know, it's something I read. Saturday. I went on a walk with Mother today. It was nice. My mother is a very fun person to talk to when she isn't depressed. That job at the bar is really getting to her, but she can't quit because we need the money. I know. I'll get a job and tell her to quit. Dad came home late again. Something is going on. Okay. Well, I guess I'm not a thief or anything, and I have no equipment. So I'm going to just go out the door and see what happens. This is a strange sort of
So,
atmosphere.
you're finally awake. Well, now that you're up, I'm going to need you to go and buy some breakfast. I'm going to need to borrow the money from Arthur again, so you'd better hurry.
Huh. Well, fine then, man. But first...
Good morning, dear. Be careful.
Yeah. Wow, this is pretty realistic. This blue fog is again sort of... There's a weird look to it, but not as weird as the dark mod, and honestly, that's pretty good with me. Yeah, it's all pretty cool. Whoa, I'm just breaking into other people's rooms. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not a thief, right? I don't have my equipment. I mean, and I don't have my thief badge. A thief badge is an odd sort of badge. It's not an actual badge. It's actually, as long as you have any one of the implements of a thief, such as arrows or a blackjack or a sword or, you know, something else other than a compass, you're totally a thief. And that's your card that you carry and stuff. Rent. Cinder. Room 1, William. Rent on time. Room 2, me. Not applicable because I mooch off people. Room 2, 3 and 4, Oliver, Lucy, and Darren. Rent on time. Dorothy. Aren't I Darren? Like it said in the readme that you guys missed? Maybe me is some other guy. I really have no idea what's going on here, but oh well. Okay, I have to go find Arthur and borrow some money from him. Because, wow. Because, saving doesn't have any pause associated with it at all. Hey there, Madam Thief 3. Well, I'm looking out for people to have other cool custom conversations. This looks like one of those missions with a lot of custom stuff in it. It's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, the fog looks weird against the side of a building. It's kind of glowish and also different looking with the shadows, but it's only so much that can be done about that, and by so much I really mean nothing. Nothing can be done about that, because it's just kind of fog. I wonder if I can climb a drain pipe, because sometimes you can. Oh! I am the clever one. I am the clever one. Wow. So, yeah. I like it when you can climb drain pipes. It's sort of slightly non-obvious, but I always like to try it because, you know, sometimes you can. Suddenly he felt the dagger tip move away from the back of his neck, and he wondered if it would be wise to make a move. His instinct screamed at him to move, and he obeyed. He brought his right elbow back in a flash and felt it connect with a jaw, and he felt the grip on his arm loosen. Then he dove forward and felt something whoosh over his head just as he moved. He rolled once, then turned in a crouch to face his opponent. The man held a short sword in one hand, and the dagger that he had just wielded was sheathed on his hip. Lucius was taken off guard for many reasons. Firstly, he realized he had come very close to death, even with his own fast reflexes and his elbow strike. Second, the man standing before him showed no signs of pain or injury from the powerful strike to his jaw. But most of all, the short sword that the man held was the one Lucius had tied to his pack. "You should guard your possessions more closely," he said simply, swinging the sword from side to side. Then he pointed it at Lucius. "I underestimated you. I will not make that mistake again." Then he leapt forward, sword held wide out to his right. Lucius knew that if he ran, he would find a dagger in his back, just like poor Blake. So the dragon's scimitar slid out of its sheath and rose to meet the impending blow. But the strike never came from the right. The dark man spun on the spot, and the short sword was suddenly screaming in from the left. And had Lucius been a sliver of a second slower in adjusting his block, his head would have been rolling on the ground. The sword pulled back and lunged in at Lucius's stomach. Lucius leapt to the side and swept the blade away, only to find it then coming down from above. He dodged to the side, and the dark man halted his sword and swung it right up toward his opponent's torso. Lucius leaned backward and barely managed to deflect the deadly steel. What is this, the Eye of Argon? So awesome. Lucius knew that he was dodging certain death by an inch with each of the man's calculated, precise strikes. He backed up as the dark man pressed forward, stabbing and slashing, and he only barely blocked the sword. The man had such control of his movements, and easily had control of the battle. It was amazingly lucky, to say the least, that Lucius wasn't long dead. Sovius lunged forward with a stab at Lucius's chest. The scimitar knocked it down to the side, but Sovius followed the momentum in a wide circle and brought it back down to slash across Lucius's sword arm. He screamed and fell to the ground, and the scimitar dropped out of his hand, but Sovius did not yet come in for a killing blow. "I guess I was wrong about you," said Sovius, smirking. "But enough of this. I have business to attend to." His sword plunged down for Lucius's heart, and the beaten warrior stared up in terror into the face of his conqueror. Sounds like the Hardy Boys or something. Also, did that guy get named Sovius at some point? I was too busy, you know, trying to read a very same-sounding battle description that I didn't really realize what was going on. Yeah, this is not the Dark Modern. You can't just mantle up on just anything. It's pretty disappointing. I guess this is like... Wait. I can't get back out there as there's no crate. I have to try to get out this way. But I don't think I can jump on this table. Wait. Did I just save it? What, am I stupid? I don't have equipment, right? I don't have any rope arrows. What? How did I manage to do that? I don't know, but no questions here. Wait, is that a bird? Flying? Crazy birds? Man, good attention to detail. Good. Boy, it's like they want to make it hard for me to get anywhere. I guess there's really only one way to go, and that's over this way. Hey there, hobo. You gonna want a bar ticket for the scum bar? Or whatever it was? Well, too bad for you, because I don't have any. I guess the guards don't care about me, because I am not an...
Inconceivable! What trickery is this? Don't you hammers have anything better to do than raid old tombs? Leave that to us.
Thou hast defiled the house of the builder, knave. Open the gate, and I shall show thee mercy.
Verily I say unto thee, thou hast not a chance. I entreat thee, thou shouldst go boil thy rigid backside.
How dare thee mock a child of the builder? I shall tear down this gate with my bare hands and twist off thy wayward head.
Uh-huh. You just walk away in shame there, Hammer. Hey, what's your problem? You need me to do a job for you? No? Fine. I'm all for working. I am, after all, not yet a thief, and I'm willing to do honest work, which is pretty much blasphemous in the order of the thieves. If you would say such a thing, then the thief would say, "How dare you! I'll tear down this gate with my bare hands and tear off your wayward other appendage." Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what place this is, but it looks like the
Things are simply not what they were.
place I want to go. It's actually pretty linear. It's kind of amazing. So, yes, borrow some money from a guy. This doesn't sound like a good thing. He's probably going to get sick of me, like, that guy sending his son now to borrow money because he can't show his face around here. What lack of balls. Okay.
Oh, it's you. Here's your money. Here. Tell your father to hurry up.
Oh, okay then. Cinder 2nd. I guess this is a month or something. Meeting with James. Confront Eustace about store policy. Payday. Eustace claims he was not rude to Lady Rowland in any way. He said he did not loudly break wind while they were talking. I let him off this time. He'd better be extra nice to her in the future. Meeting with James in 30 slivers. I hope he accepts my offer. Outrageous! 50 fetchings? A piece? That's 2 bangles total. How much of a fool does he take me for? That I would pay so much for such imbecilic mulery. It was pure and utter arrogance that he refused my offer of 100 shekels apiece. It's a reasonable price for simply bringing me a damn skull. Danger. Pah! Those tombs have been sturdy for 1,000 years. I'm sure they'll be fine. I just hope the Hammer's excavation team hasn't already found my prize. 2 bangles. Maybe I can get Oliver to do it. He'd do it for less than 50 shekels. 4th, Lady Rowland stopped by the office again today. Apparently she said Eustace was glaring angrily at her. Also, he did not wish her a good day when she was leaving. I shall have to talk to him again. That should be unpleasant. Scheduled to meet James again tomorrow to work out the payment for the job. I've decided to tell him that I have another thief interested, so if he doesn't like it, she can get Kiss the Trickster. James? She? What? Cinder 5th, meeting with James, talk to Eustace, lunch with Brother Delmar. The meeting with Eustace was awkward as usual. That man is unsettling. I told him that if I hear any more complaints from the Rowlands, he'll be demoted to janitorial duty. He claimed he was innocent, but I'm not so sure. What is it about that man? When I pass by the window, I see him standing there looking at me blankly. He's done nothing wrong, yet I feel the sudden urge to strike him. Ha! Those low-life crooks are all the same. I told her of the thief that is interested in the job, and she dropped her price to 200 shekels apiece. Although double my original offer, it's still far lower than her original demand. Well worth it, I would say. I'll soon have that skull in no time. Lunch was interesting. I persuaded Delmar to stop for a drink with me after lunch. He reluctantly agreed, and I soon had him slurring his speech and telling jokes. I inquired of the excavation. He said that his men had uncovered a bronze skull in one of the crypts. My heart stopped. He also said that they were holding it in the church until next week, when it will be taken to the city for further study. Excellent! Now I won't have to worry about those brutes not being able to find it. Oh, I can barely contain my ecstasy. With the skull in hand, I'll be able to find the true treasure. 8th, Lord Rowland himself stopped by today. He wasn't pleased. He claimed that Eustace made a pass at Lady Rowland. I assured him that my employees would never do that, but he insisted if I didn't fix the problem, he would be withdrawing his funds and switching to the Northside Bank. Those louts. I assured him that it would not happen again. Damn that Eustace! I think it's time for a well-earned demotion. Why not just fire him, dude? Is there really nobody else? James or one of her cronies. Really? James is a female name. Maybe it's a last name. James or one of our cronies should be dropping off the skull any day now. Obviously, questions would be asked if it were dropped off here, so I've arranged it to be held by Clarence, the dock merchant, until I can retrieve it. Cinder 9th, payday, demote Eustace. Eustace isn't my biggest fan, but he'll learn to deal with it. I hired a new teller, and Eustace will be scrubbing the basement for a few days, or at least until I can eat, not literally, off the floor. James just dropped by. James or one of her James just dropped by. What? He said it... Maybe James is transgendered. He said it was easy enough to get the skull. He had her thug. He had her... Dylan, drop it off with Clarence this morning. He revealed another secret. He knows about the book! He said he had actually been hired by another employer from the city to recover it. This will not happen! No one will have the book but I. No one! The other employer, who refused to tell me his name, is offering he and his crew 5 bangles apiece! I cannot match this. I haven't near enough. What to do? I don't know of any other thieves here, except Oliver. Wait, that's it! Oliver can do it! But he's not a real thief. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll risk everything for this. It is my life. Oliver will have to do. It's not like that Garrett. What's his name? Yes, I shall send Oliver today. I'll tell Clarence to deliver the skull this morning, as Oliver will need to actually bring the book back. I guess it's one of those missions with hella text in it. I suppose that's cool. Well, now I've got some money, so the only thing left to do, I guess, is to go back home. So, I'm gonna go back home. I don't think I've done any cuts whatsoever, because cuts hurt, and I'm not into pain, man. I'm more into, pleasure. Well, not really. I don't like pleasure whatsoever. It doesn't please me at all. And that's why I play a game that's fun, because fun and pleasure are different things, I guess. Well, I've got your money, Dad. Come on. What, do you want me to drop it somewhere? No, you can't. I can't even remember what I was supposed to do. Run some errands. Let me have a look around. Well, there's this. I guess it's going to be another novel. Yes, it is. Wednesday. Got into the town today. It's good to get away from the big city once in a while. It can get so hectic there. Out here, there's little going on, I hear. No mechanists, and only a single lonely Hammerite temple. And even though I walked right by it, there were no hammers out and about. I guess they mostly just keep to themselves here. I rented out a room at the local inn here, and it's nice and cheap, too. I can't afford much, so that's good for me. Right now, I'm pretty tired, so it'll be best that I go ahead and get some sleep for the time being. Took a tour of the town today. I really like it. It's nice and quaint. I really liked the docks in this town. Rather than being noisy and busy, it was really quiet and relaxing. I even got to dip my legs in the water for a long time, and no one bothered me. Seems there's a family living next door here in the inn. They look really poor, so they can only afford to rent out a couple rooms here. The mother mostly keeps to herself in that room, and I can't tell if the father has a steady job or not. What a shame. You'd think they'd have more responsibility. Perhaps this town isn't as quaint as I thought it was. I was out sitting at the docks again, and an old man came in from the city, and he had those shifty eyes. I watched him out of the corner of my eye, but tried not to get noticed. He had this bag with some kind of small, heavy object in it. I entertained for a moment that it was a human head, looked the right size and shape and everything. Anyway, the man went up to the stall set up next to the docks, where the fish are sold, and had a quiet conversation with the man there. The way they were talking, they clearly didn't want to be overheard. The man handed the bag over and scurried off. Wonder what that was all about. And then on my way by the Hammer Temple, there was lots of noise coming from inside. Sounded like machinery of some kind. The gate was closed. I wonder what they could be doing in there. Was kind of hesitant to go out on a walk today, seeing as how strange yesterday was. Still, I decided to take my chances. I went by the Hammer Temple to scope things out, but it was silent again. I decided to just let it be. I lost track of time, and by the time I headed back to the inn, night had fallen. Even though it was a nice enough town, I got kind of scared and wanted to get home as soon as possible. I went back by the temple and saw that there was a man in black sneaking around it. He seemed to be searching for a way in. I decided to take a different way home. More commotion at the Hammer Temple today. It was locked down again, and there was the sound of machinery coming from inside again, but it was more distant. I went ahead and asked one of the Hammers standing guard. I managed to get a few things out of him, but he wouldn't tell me everything. Apparently they're digging down below the temple or something. I can't be sure, but apparently there's some kind of structure below the temple that they're trying to get into. I went back later tonight, and there was a guy sneaking around again. But it seemed this one was different from yesterday. In fact, he seemed kind of familiar, though I can't put my finger on it. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but I'm kind of getting the willies, so I don't think I'm going to go for a walk tomorrow. Sleeping all day sounds good to me. Alright, well, maybe I have to go through that window and try to climb through the other side the same miraculous way I climbed through the first side. But really, caused by reading or no, that's 20 minutes, so, I'm going to leave it here. So see you guys next time for more thiefy goodness and also whatever the heck else I happen to be playing. And I'm Fenn, because I'm cool, and bye for now.